So this series was an interesting find. You see, I was just scrolling down on Netflix and tried to find an anime that not many people were talking about. I mean, they had a lot of regular stuff like shonen, horror themed anime, and adventure, anime that many people have seen over and over again. That is, until I came across something pretty simple, Squid Girl, or Shinrayaku Ikemuseme. This opened my eyes a bit on what else that anime had to offer. It's weird, funny, disturbing, and let me tell you, it's awesome. So what's the story? A human-squid hybrid vows vengeance upon the surface for polluting the ocean. Oh gosh, I was gonna cringe if this was one of those saving the environment shows. Hopefully Captain Planet doesn't show up, but nope. She decides that she wants to rule the world and devises an attack on the little place known as the Lemon Beach House. But then, after breaking the owner's wall, she's forced to work as a waitress to pay for the damages. And yeah, her plans for taking over the world flies out the window, as she ends up befriending the Aizawa siblings and even living with them. There's Eiko, a tomboy who enjoys playing video games and keeping our main character in check. There's Chizuru, a cook who happens to have very crazy abilities and can sometimes be scary. And then we have Takeru, who doesn't really have much of a personality and mostly hangs out with Squid Girl. Basically, this series focuses on our main character learning and having fun on the surface. So it's quite literally a fish out of water story. However, she doesn't give up on trying to take over, but let me tell you, she never gets close. Think of Pinky and the Brain, but it's only Pinky trying to take over the world. Yet later on, we find out she is really good at math. Honestly, at first I thought I wasn't going to like this series because it was mostly just people talking and having small adventures around a beach area. It seemed like it would get boring pretty quickly, but I somehow got a lot of laughs out of it. But at the same time, it gets kinda weird. You see, the series has episodes where they split into 3 segments. Every episode isn't only one story, it's a bunch. In one story, we find out that Squid Girl can use her ink for spaghetti after a battle with Chizuru. It becomes so popular that Squid Girl ends up losing a lot of water in her body. It's both strange and funny at the same time. Then in another story, a woman named Cindy Campbell thinks Squid Girl is an alien. When she denies being one, Sydney hypnotizes her and convinces her that she is one just so she can experiment on her. And let me tell you, this nutcase sticks around for a while. Then we get a really odd episode where Eiko sees and takes care of a tiny version of Squid Girl. Yeah, she is tiny all of a sudden, and then they grow up together. I won't spoil the ending because while it's a big middle finger, it surprisingly makes sense. There is so much to talk about this series, the characters, the story, the oddness of it all. I can go on and on about it. Actually, I haven't talked that much about Squid Girl herself. She's a good character too. I like how she's so curious about everything. Even when she's trying to take over the world, she is constantly distracted by items, people she meets, and even rules around society. One moment she is trying to make a plan, but other times she is playing with an umbrella and finding the world around her very unique. Though I think I should just get to the last part, and honestly, my only negative feelings are towards the first season's finale, which I don't know what to think about. It starts with Squid Girl finding out her tentacles don't work anymore, so she can't pick up anything or do any of her squid abilities. Her friends suggest that she return to the sea and come back once she is healed. At first, it seemed more like she hoped that her friends would miss her if she left. She then cuts off her tentacles and decides that she wants to be human. I guess she thinks her friends don't like her as a squid, but then Takeru tries to explain to her that it's not going to make her happy. Then she goes and sits on the beach trying to think of the problem, only to meet a random girl named Kozue, who appears twice in this series, and we discover she is a hybrid as well. But we don't know which unless you read the manga. She tells Squid Girl that not all humans are bad. Then she saves Eiko from a whirlpool and her tentacles return and everything goes back to normal. What was the point of that ending? I'm not sure if this was in the manga or the director knew there was going to be a season 2, so he decided to make a random episode and not end it in a proper way because I don't know. It's probably the strangest ending to a season of a show I've ever seen, but to be fair, that's where season 2 comes in. But that's for next time. Overall, this was the start of me coming back into anime, and boy did it not disappoint. Squid Girl is funny, weird, sweet, emotional, and definitely worth your time.